What's up, Starcraft fans? Today we're doing the tier list for the Quick and the Undead on Scythe of Amon. Brian, let's hear the mutation.
Scythe of Amon is the map where we have to destroy 5 void slivers pre-placed on the map before timer runs out. Each void sliver we destroy adds more time, and gives more powers to the remaining ones. Void Reanimators spawn from enemy buildings and revive fallen enemy units. All enemies, including the Reanimators, move very fast.
Okay, so we have Twotuuu the Cobra today. Twotuuu, how are you?
Alright, so far so good.
So far, so good. Nice. So how will we rank the commanders this week?
There are reanimators, so being able to control the reanimators is important.
Quite.
But once you have it under control, it's actually not that difficult.
No, not really.
This mutation.
The whole thing is the Reanimators. For me, there are two jobs here, but for me the more important one is clearing the map, because there are some commanders who can just kind of clear the map and ignore everything. So depending on how well you clear the map, you'll get like double credit, and you'll get an extra credit if you can also deal very well with the Reanimators. So let's begin. Abathur, where do we have him?
Abathur's an interesting one because once his brutalists are up, he's really good. But before that, you can actually just die, because if you miss if you lure and you lose your roach or your spore crawler or something, and you don't get 100 biomass in time, or you don't know how to do it and you just mess up, you actually gonna lose, and you're gonna cause your ally to lose.
Yes.
They're gonna revive and run to your base, and then you waste all your toxicness trying to stop them. So I would say that if you know how to use him, then he would be like A. But if you don't know how to use him really well, he's like C.
I actually agree. I had Abathur in A because I do know how to use him. That being said, it's a very interesting point that you brought up, since Abathur starts working very early. So if we take that into account, you can actually lose the game for your ally, because your ally normally doesn't have anything going on that early. So how about we compromise with an A star, because you can be A if you know how to draw enemies into your toxic nests and get a fast brutalisk, but only if you know how to get a fast brutalisk and you don't mess up.
Yeah.
A star. All right. A star. Alarak, I actually had him in B. I think he's okay with Reanimators and kind of okay on clearing the map. You can kind of do the mothership plus destroyer thing, going to the outside if you want to cheese it, but you still have to teleport home or use an overcharge if there's a reanimator. You can also have Alarak, I guess. So I'd say he's decent for both. That's why I have him in B.
All right. So for Alarak, so for some commanders, you kind of have to base it, but others you can just do it on one base. Alarak is one of those where you can just do it on one base, and you use the mothership. I used the mothership, and I took out 2 slivers, the two far ones, like the 7 or 8 and 11. I took them out in succession before they were able to build up.
Okay.
So, and then I just stayed home and like fought off the reinforcements, and then went around for the overcharge to kill the other ones. But like that requires requires kind of like control, and you cannot use your overcharges at home because you need them for the sliver sniping.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
If you use it at home, then you're gonna have to wait 90 seconds for another one, because you need all 3 to kill a sliver.
Oh.
And so I put him in B as well.
Okay.
You can hold off for quite a long time with just Alarak, but like, you gotta know the strategy, and you kind of know what you're doing.
All right. I think we both agree with B, but there's also something here that I should probably say for Alarak. You can probably bait out the Void Reanimator by using the mothership to draw out an air unit from one of the bases and flight over the unpathable terrain. I think over the Mobius hybrid, or the Void Shade hybrid area. I have not confirmed whether that is possible here, but I can confirm that works on Metal Warfare, so I just kind of assume that you can do it here.
It works.
Yeah, so you can kind of trick the Reanimators and kind of get them stuck thereby making the map a lot easier for you and your ally. But anyway, we recommend Shadow of Death here, right? Because you do need the mothership.
Yes.
Also,
Yes.
a bit of knowledge on reverse clearing, and a bit of luck also. We can't really put him in A, because your ally can mess up your clearing if he decides to clear a close shard while you're still working on the far one. So yeah, B sounds fine. Arcturus, where do we have him?
Uh, he can reverse clear, but like if you miss, then you're gonna kill like strong units and not kill the sliver. So you just have strong units coming to your base. So messing up the reverse clear is actually really bad. You can safely snipe one of them with the bunker. If you are daring, then you can try two. I think two is the most you should try at the same time.
Yeah.
Then you can nuke the other ones and ESO the close ones. But
Yes.
I wouldn't ESO the close ones until you're ready, because you're gonna kill stuff and they're gonna start coming back to your base.
Yes.
So yeah, I put him in A because his bunkers and stuff, his defense is great and he has a nuke, but you got to kind of work for it.
All right, that sounds fair. I had him in S actually. My reason for putting him in S is because he could just do the aim on you're on a timer thing, and all you really have to do is defend. But are you saying that Arcturus can have a little bit of difficulty dealing with those reanimators in the rear, or those reanimators reviving all those strong units at the slivers?
That's one. So if you like nuke any sliver, you're gonna get battle cruisers, broodlords, carriers, or like colossi.
Banshees,
And yeah, the
broodlords.
banshees are not that problem. The problem is anything that outranges the bunkers.
Yeah.
And also the reanimators, when they're close to your mineral line, it's hard to actually hit them because you have to get out of your bunker. And if you get out, you might lose units. And if you're only at one base, you don't have that much money.
All right.
So yeah. And if you don't kill them, then you're just repairing a long time, and you might actually get like overwhelmed because they keep reviving
out
and
of
you
money.
can't reach them.
Yes. All right, that's fine. I had him in S, but it's not unanimous, so it's not S. So therefore, we're gonna have an A. Which prestige do we use for Arcturus? Third one?
I used the third one.
Third one. The Merchant of Death. The one where your guns are cheaper, but they don't get reused. Artanis, I had him in A because he can just do the Tempest sniping thing. I wouldn't put him in S because he kind of still has to work on defending the actual waves, and those waves get revived by the reanimators. I guess you could just have a lot of dragoons and shield overcharge in your base, and then the soul of a barber will probably destroy a lot of stuff in the sliver area. But as far as I know, the units themselves, at least the beefier units, kind of get out of the way of the soul of a barber, so they won't actually get destroyed, so they won't get revived. So I don't think that those big guys like the carriers, the battle cruisers, will get revived and fly to your base. That being said, a lot of the smaller ones will. So you probably will need to use Archon dudes, Tempests. Of course, I'm recommending the third prestige, and then defend at home with dragoons and the shield overcharge. But yeah, I think he's good enough for A. What do you think?
I recommend using phoenixes, so you can lift up the reanimators.
Oh,
you
that's
just
cool.
mass phoenixes, Phoenix cannon.
Phoenix cannon.
So a one base Phoenix cannon, and then since you're going I reverse cleared the three far ones, and then the closer ones I used phoenixes for the extra damage because they're fast. Shield overcharge Phoenix and then finish off the slivers.
Okay.
I put them in A because
right.
you can just stay in one base, and you can turn off autocast for like two of the phoenixes so that you always have like at least one. You can manually target the reanimator.
All right. So you'll always have a charge ready, basically.
Yeah.
That sounds fair. Do you use Soul of Bombardment for the reverse clear? Just fly in with your Phoenix for the vision, and then just drop Soul of Bombardment and fly away?
Yes. Yes.
All right. That sounds fine. Let's put Artanis in A. Dehaka. Where do we? Oh wait, yeah. With Dehaka, where do we have him?
Dehaka, third prestige allows you to have
Double
one brother on each side. So you get one at your expo and one at the 5 sliver. So like you kill it and then you kind of just wait there. And after you get control of the map, you just you just creeper host snipe the other 3, and you have lots of minerals for primal worms and stuff. So you just have them on. You just have them at both sides, and you can also put some like impalers just for extra damage. I put them in S because it's really strong.
It also had Dehaka in S. My idea here was to use. Well, I think I would actually say the second. I think third prestige is fine. I might use personally the second prestige, just so I can have really powerful pack eaters take out the furthest one, the furthest shard first. Just get vision. That's so that you can just use all the creeper hosts. I guess you kind of still need expansion if you just want your creeper host to stick in the expansion area and just snipe the shards from there. I think they can. Can they reach the further slivers for the main base? Or they have to clear the
They cannot
expansion?
reach the top left. So
Yeah.
once you clear the last 8 and the 12, then you send your creepers towards the northwest and you kill everything there. Then you make like a new base. Like you put primal worms to kind of stay there. It's the thing that I always do for this map. So to me, it's not anything new. It's the same strategy I always use for sniping.
But regardless, I think we both agree that he's S. But we do want to take out the expansion shard first, right? So we could kind of set up camp there.
Yes, I would take out both the 2 close ones, and then so he's kind of like anti-synergistic with some of the other ones.
Yeah. All right, that's fine.
But yeah, if you choose to expand and you can defend it, you can tell your ally just to hit the closer ones, and you do the rest.
Yeah. All right, that sounds fair. Moving on, Fenix. I had him in B. I think he's fine. He's fine for defending the attack waves, but when the Reanimators come, he can get overwhelmed, especially if you don't spot the Reanimator right away. Maybe you can have observers sieged up, so you can always see where the Reanimator is, but you still have to get to it. Maybe with something like, I don't know, a carrier or just right-click Caldalis to it. And then the way Fenix does this map is mostly by brute forcing it, going through the front door. So he doesn't really have an easy way of doing this map. But he's not bad, I don't think. So I still have him in B. What do you think, Twotuuu?
I think if you're gonna brute force it, you have to expand.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna bleed to death. You're gonna run out of money.
Yeah.
So what I did instead is I took out 3 slivers in like 7 minutes.
So you speedrun it?
I tried to, but I couldn't because of the Reanimators. So I needed gas. So I played this like Lone Wolf in that I had like Taldarin and Talus at home on a hotkey, and I had Caldalis with shells and Phoenix suit, just like run of P2, of course, run in, right click the sliver so it doesn't hit anything else, and repeat until dead. And you do that for the I did that with the 5, 12, and then 11.
5, 12. And so the expansion shard, the north shard, and the far shard.
No, not 6, 5.
Oh,
the one
5,
right in
5.
front.
Okay, so the close one.
Yeah, and
the close one. So you clear counterclockwise.
No. Well, then the one after that, I waited like 10 minutes before doing anything because like
you gotta defend.
Yeah, I had to defend all the waves and stuff and build up, and then I eventually got like the other champions, and then I killed the middle one, and then the last one, the 7, 8 o'clock one.
All right,
but
that
like,
sounds fine.
Yeah, I put him in B, but because he's fine, but he requires a specific kind of strat, and if you're not sure what you're doing, you're gonna not do well.
Whoa, that sounds like Alarak. That sounds like a B star to me. If you need a specific strat that you need to know how to do, that sounds like a B star, not a.
That's kind of like what Alarak does, because Alarak's not gonna.
Oh yeah.
You're not F2ing with Alarak if you're gonna defend.
That makes sense. All right, so B star for both Alarak and Fenix. Hara and Horner, where do we have them?
They are bad against Reanimators because they're already economically challenged, and then if you keep bleeding units, you're gonna lose more. You can use strike fighters on them, but like early on, you don't have that many strike fighters, and you need I think you need 2 2 hits? No, you need 3 hits because it does 175, right? And then they have 400 HP. So you need
Well,
3 hits.
the fire.
But if you want them to
Assuming,
die
yeah,
quickly,
quickly.
and they might walk away.
Yes.
So yeah, I think they're bad. And plus, because of speed freaks, they can't camp the spawns
Oh
as easily.
yeah.
Since
Oh yeah.
if they just fly right past your
The
magmines
magmines.
sometimes.
That's true.
Like you might kill some of them, but like a shuttle or two might get left behind, and then they'll trigger the hybrid. So they can't even camp the way they used to. I put them in D.
Oh D. I actually had them in C. I don't think they're that good either, but I don't have anyone else in C, so I thought might as well put Hot and Horner in C. Do you have someone in C who's not Hot and Horner?
Yes.
Oh, all right. Well, in that case, I'm okay putting him in D. But I had him in C, but I don't think it's a stretch to put them in D. Karax, I had him in S because just defend, use observers to snipe the void slivers with orbital strike. You can even have observers at the spawn points of enemies and just take them out before they can actually drop stuff to make your defense even easier. I I think it's pretty straightforward for Karax S. Use the third prestige, so you'll have enough energy for the orbital strikes.
Yeah. Yes. So yeah, it's the usual Scythe of Amon, sliver sniping. Except at home, you might want your monoliths on a hotkey and observers in front of your monolith so that you can right click the
The
reanimators
reanimators.
whenever they're
That makes
close.
sense.
But that's not it.
That makes
That's
sense.
it.
Yeah. All right.
Otherwise, the usual.
Third prestige, right?
Yep.
All right. Kerrigan, where do we have him?
Kerrigan, she is very good. The only problem is speed freaks on the first wave. There's a chance that you lose a lot of stuff to the first wave. So if it's a hard hitting comp, you can't even stall with buildings. So um, if it's like adepts, you can stall with like 3 buildings. But if it's like anything that's weak, that's strong, like vultures or something, you're gonna lose all those buildings, and your ally might you need your ally's help. So it can't be S. That's why I put her in A. Once she's out, it's just Omega Worms everywhere.
All right. I had Kerrigan in B because she doesn't really have a snipe option. She kind of goes with Kerrigan, uses mobilization wave, and then unloads all her units from the Omegrams. And the nice thing about the Omegrams is that whenever you get a reanimator in your base, do you use one base or two bases, Kerrigan?
2 base.
Two base. So you have to
Because you
defend.
have map vision everywhere.
You have to defend two bases, and the reanimators can come from 3 angles. So from the northwest in your expansion, from the northeast in your expansion, and then to your main base. That's 3 spots. I think that's gonna stretch your attention span too much. So unless you're like a really high level player, I wouldn't think Kerrigan is A here. I actually put him in B. What do you think?
I don't think you should be since you always have vision of everything, you shouldn't have you're not fighting 2 reanimators at once.
So you
So
got
like
you
when
got to
you
snipe the parameters quickly.
yeah, but like there anytime you clear an area, you drop a worm there so that when they revive, Kerrigan pops out, and if I use P2, so you can also like stun them with your with your electricity or whatever. You can stun them and they stop reviving as well. So yeah, you have it's like every time you kill an area, you get rid of a sliver or something, you drop a worm there, and then when a reanimator comes, you show up too. You show up too, and you kill it, and then you go back to what you're doing.
All right, I guess
So
that
as long
makes
as you have
sense.
enough, if you have enough worms, you will always just be fighting one.
Okay, so one more thing. Wouldn't the early game scenario of you just die if it's a hard hitting wave factor in to the rating here? Or is that the
It's
reason
not.
why she's not S?
That's the reason why she's not S. I would have put
Hmm.
her in S because she's really good.
Yeah, she's really good against
It's just
reanimators. I'm just thinking that maybe is she really at Karax's level, or
no, no.
yeah.
But
And
but
among the
yeah,
A tiers, her peers are Abathur, Arcturus, and Artanis. They're all really good in just going around and just sniping the shards. Although I guess, yeah, I
I don't
understand Kerrigan also has the immobilization wave option.
I
Hmm.
don't think that you just because it's Scythe of Amon, you have to snipe. It's that those commanders snipe because their front door options are weak, whereas Kerrigan's her front door option is strong.
I wouldn't
So
think.
you
I wouldn't think Dehaka's frontal option. I wouldn't think Abathur's frontal option is weak. But point taken. All right, fine. We can have her an A. That's fine for me. Which prestige do you recommend?
second one.
Second one. Oh, Zap Kerrigan. So the immobilization is mostly to stun enemies, not to destroy them.
Yes, because if you use the immobilization wave like to kill the shuttles, you can do that, but you also kill enemies at the bonus, and they will get revived.
All right,
So you don't want to kill those enemies because that's a lot of stuff that in
that
an
get
area you
revived.
didn't really clear out.
That makes sense. Okay, well, I'm fine putting her in A, but not sure if she's gonna be a high A. Mostly because of the death grip crystal, the blue fart. I'm not really confident taking my units up against
Death grip,
those.
she doesn't get death gripped.
Her
Kerrigan doesn't
units,
get death
her
gripped.
army.
But her units are all Zerglings.
Oh, so you don't make Hydra, you just make Zerglings.
Yeah. Why would you make anything besides Zergling
Anti-air,
Ultra?
anti-air.
Yours Kerrigan. You're P2 Kerrigan.
So you
Why
just
would you need
use.
anti-air?
So you just use Kerrigan alone against all those banshees, battle cruisers, carriers, dude lords.
They're stunned. They're stunned, and then you slide. You hit 5 times. You slide. They're mostly dead.
All right, if you say so. Let's put it in A
I mean,
then.
I will have Hydralisks too. I add them later, but like they're not enough to make me worry about Death Grip Crystal.
Okay, I guess. I'm fine. I already put her in A. So Nova, I think Nova is pretty okay here. She's fine. She can have siege tanks defending at home, also liberators. She can go out and I guess her issue is if she loses her army, it's game over because her army is really expensive. She kind of needs the expansion to really get her entire army up online, and that means you need an expansion essentially. And defending the expansion is gonna be tough because your army is not big numbers wise. So you probably so you're stuck making a hard decision. You either have to secure an expansion, which is tough to do because again you don't have a lot of army, or you can do one base, which again you're on one base. So how much of your army can you really bring to bear? And then you still need liberators left over to destroy the shards, and then have enough back home to snipe the reanimator and then destroy the attack waves. I'm not really sure. I guess the airstrike is still helpful for the attack waves when they arrive. So I think that's still good enough for B. What do you think?
Um, I don't think she can expand unless you have someone defending
Defending
for
the
you,
expand.
which yeah. So I did one base, and in the beginning it's just Nova is Nova plus tanks plus one or two of those the railgun turrets.
And repair SCVs.
And then later, after 8 minutes 30 seconds, you get nukes, and then after that, you just nuke an area, and four liberators will take care of a sliver.
Four.
Nuke four liberators, kill it, and then you can actually Nova can hang out there for a while to kill reanimators, but if you don't, you can just let them come to base and just let them they're gonna get killed.
By siege
I
tanks.
did have a pair of cloak banshees because tanks don't often reach or they don't have enough vision to kill the reanimators. So a pair of cloak banshees will target the reanimators at the front door.
Okay.
I put her in B also.
Okay. How do you feel about just floating your barracks to give vision to the reanimator?
Um, your tank sometimes won't hit it unless you get that
So
upgrade.
it's still out of range. Don't you get that upgrade because you will need it for the? That's what I'm thinking. You need that upgrade for the reanimators. I guess the
Um,
banshees also work.
later on, That's a because I'm one basing with one extra stolen gas, so it's like three gases.
That
But
makes
the
sense.
stolen gas gets destroyed after 9 minutes, so it's like it's I have other things that I would rather get than the range upgrade
That makes sense.
because banshees are stronger. They're more reliable
So when
than
you're
the
saying you hang around the shard areas, I guess you're using the third prestige, the infiltration specialist.
yes,
The super
yes.
cook is really nice, so you don't have to worry about def- keeping Nova alive. All right, that's fine. I guess we both ended up in the same spot, which is B, which is fine. Raynor, I think.
Raynor.
Yeah, Raynor. I think Raynor is mine, right?
Raynor
No,
is
yours.
my C character, C commander.
Okay.
Um, he's so Lila used bio and vultures, and that's really hard to control. You can put vultures, spider mines at like the both bases, and you can like automatically kill whatever is there. But I don't think I think most of us will have trouble doing this. So I recommend the sliver sniping strat, which is what I did. You
Yeah.
just one base, stay at home, bunker tank, and with a few vultures, and then
Wait
every
for
time you have
Hyperion.
Hyperion and Duskwings, you just use them together. And later on, you'll make Vikings or Banshees. Probably Vikings are better, and then you have them on the side to help kill the later slivers, so that you can deal enough damage. Um, I put them in C because it's a very specific strat and it's kind of hard to do. Because if you mess up the Hyperion Duskwing thing, you are like you're dead because you're gonna run out of time and they will replenish the forces by the sliver. So you have to not mess up every time you attack.
Right. I actually had Raynor in B because I'm thinking that maybe his bunkers will be strong enough to hold on until you have until you have enough tanks to destroy the reanimators and the units that they revive. But if you say that it's not that good. I mean I haven't really played this Raynor, so I'll just kind of take your word for it. You say C?
The tanks like because the tanks have long range, they're gonna kill things everything within their range, so the reanimators will start reviving outside of the tank range.
That makes sense. All right, fine. Let's put him in C. Stetboy, I had him in A because he can just have Ultralisks at home defending. You can even have Zerglings and stuff. Meanwhile, Gary with a couple of Corruptors flies around and then just right clicks the shard and then just flies out. Not S, but I think it's still pretty good. A. What do you think?
Yeah. For the close, I took control of the close ones first, so I can expand. If you want, you can add a few of the lurkers, but I don't think they're necessary. Because you have blue zone, so you just run back and forth wherever they show up. Have a few spine crawlers so that they don't get to your mineral line. But I basically hang around the natural plus the sliver, the right side, the 5 o'clock one, near the first bonus, and then I mass corruptors and eventually just right click the sliver and then run.
Sliver.
I
Yeah.
put him in A as well.
All right. Unanimous. So we recommend Best Buddy Prestige, right? The second one?
Best buddy, yeah.
Yeah. Best Buddy, Best Prestige. All right. We're actually not arguing on a lot of these. I'm kind of worried. This is why I prefer having like two guys on here instead of just us two, or two other guys instead of just us two, because the more disagreements, the more we can have the better view overall of the commanders we have. We kind of agree on a lot of these because we play a lot together, we talk a lot together, so we kind of know how each of these guys work or agree on how each of these guys work. But uh, I don't think this is a particularly hard one. For the hard ones, we'll definitely need like at least Styxbender or Eviling. Anyway, let's move on. Stukov, where do we have him?
Dukov, he you just make Diamondbacks, just all Diamondbacks, Diamondbacks and Overseers for the Banshees, and eventually you'll have two groups, one at the natural, one at the 5 o'clock and then defend against whatever reanimator shows up. And you can also make missile turrets or something for extra anti-air if the enemy comp has heavy anti-air, or tanks if you think you need a bit of help. But I just used all Diamondbacks. Since your first infest structure is at 3 minutes and they'll reach your base at 3 minutes, 3:15 or something, you can fight off the first wave without a problem. If you use P1, don't use P3. P3 is not good for this one. For P1, I put him in A.
A. I actually thought P3 was the way to go here, so I had him in B. All right, if you say A is a better way to go about it, and you say that P3 is good or P1 is good enough for A, I put him in B because I was thinking P3, just mass infested, mass bunker, and then you'll eventually push through everything. But if you say that Diamondbacks are better, then don't really have anything to say about that. So let's just put them in A. First prestige, you want to use mass Diamondbacks. If you want to use bunkers, I think it's B tier, which is fine. Not great, but fine. Swann, I had him in A because, as you mentioned, see, this is where the thing comes in, where it's really good to have an extra guy chiming in. So for Swann, I've heard you mention that you just fly a Hercules at the rear, build a factory, use it for vision for the laser drill. Then at home, you have probably siege tanks, maybe a couple of race for the Reanimators, and the top bars, of course, to destroy big attack waves, and just right-click the shard, resume right-clicking the shard till it's gone. So I think that's A for me. What do you think?
This is one of the times where I did not, and I don't recommend that strategy.
Really?
Because the reason is like the enemies will get revived, and if they get revived, they're gonna attack nearby buildings, and if you use concentrated beam or pulse cannon, a lot of things are gonna be revived, and you can't fight them because you're just they're gonna go after the factory that's near the sliver you're trying to push. So like if you mess up even a little, what's gonna happen is they're gonna overwhelm your factory. And if you stop drilling, you're gonna run out of time. So I use P1 wraiths.
Oh, and then the first prestige and wraiths.
Defend the natural and defend the 5 o'clock, and then just mass up wraiths, and then fly in, kill the sliver and run out. You can kill a few of the air units and then let them come to your strong static defense, but for the most part, you're using wraiths to take out the slivers.
All right. What letter is that?
I put them in A.
Still A.
Still A.
All right.
I don't think the sliver sniping, the usual one, is very effective this time.
I feel like that kid who just had a very wrong solution to a math problem and came up with the correct answer anyway. Let's put him in A. Okay. I can see why that would be a problem. Like if you hit the concentrated beam on a bunch of guys near the shard that you're hitting, and the reanimator comes in. How do you deal with the reanimator when it's outside of your turret range?
You have factories.
Factories to spot. All right, that
you
makes
have
sense.
A few factories to spot, and your laser will drill them down.
So you'll be really mineral starved here, since on top of raids you also have static defense and floating factories.
Well, I don't have that. You don't need that many, but yeah.
Mineral starved. So guys, we really anti-recommend the Vespene Drone Mastery because you need as many minerals as you can get. Anyway, Tychus, where do we have him?
Tychus is like Kerrigan, except he's stronger. So, Tychus is out when the first wave hits, and whenever a reanimator reanimates stuff, Tychus gets tickled, and then Tychus walks over and then kills the reanimator and then resume. And eventually you're just gonna have one outlaw at each area.
Entrance. Yeah.
You can patrol if you want, and then when your outlaw gets hit, then you know the reanimator is nearby and you just kill it.
That makes sense.
And yeah, I put him in S.
Oh. I actually had Tychus in A. I think he's still strong, but I don't think he has that extra hard hitting factor, or that. Oh no, he does hit hard. He doesn't have that that factor that makes really like a real easy thing like Dehaka and Karax do. Of course, I haven't tried this myself, so I still think that if you once you push through the moment I'm thinking of is when you push up the ramp on the southeast or southwest sliver. That's one of the things that makes me reconsider putting him in S. That's actually mostly the reason because when you're pushing up that ramp, when you're if you're a lone wolf, do you use lone wolf here by the way, or a
Of
different
course,
prestige?
use Wolf.
Yeah. So when you push up that ramp and you only have one outlaw, I get the feeling that you might get overwhelmed, especially when you're pushing up ramp against an entire base. Or is that not the case?
don't you don't use one outlaw on that. You use two. You use Sam plus Odin.
So Sam uses. Oh wait, no. With the Odin, you don't actually need to. All right, that makes sense. Yeah, I see it now. So you drop the nuke on that, and then fly with
Everything's dead.
Sam. Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
You don't have, you just like he just comes in from the back like little bit afterwards and then finishes off the sliver.
All right, that's
He
fine
has so
then.
much damage.
Yeah, I guess that's fine. Yeah, he can go in S. Vorazun, I think what you do here is just, well, it's very easy to mess up, especially when your ally decides to destroy. But my idea for Vorazun is to just right click the shard during time stop and then cloak wall, just destroy all the detectors, and then just wait for time stop. Use your shadow guard, right click the shards, and then win. I think since your ally can mess it up, I think it's only A instead of S. What do you think?
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, the reason why it's not S is different. I don't think it's because your ally can mess up,
Really?
but your ally might not be very happy if you
Do all the
wall him
work.
in.
Wall him. Yeah, that's what I said. Your ally can mess it up. He might destroy the wall because.
But like you're gonna have so many cannons that you're even if you have an open door, they're not gonna kill you.
Yeah,
So once you get 12 once you get 12
cannons
shadow guards,
or
you
shadow
can
guard.
time stop kill.
Yeah,
Because if
time
you don't
stop.
have
Right
12,
click.
then you can't kill it. If you just have 8, you can't kill it.
Wait, kill what? The slivers or the last
The
sliver?
sliver.
The last one or
Uh,
any?
yeah, the I generally don't go until I have 12 for the third one.
Third one. Okay, so third one onwards, you need 12, at least 12.
Yeah, because I can kill the first two. I can kill two with like the first one plus time stop.
All right. Yeah,
But with reanimators, it's actually harder.
but we agree on
Um,
A, right? We agree on A.
yeah,
We
I put it A.
we are gonna use Keeper of Shadows because it's vital. The Keeper of Shadows prestige is how you revive the Shadow Guard for each time stop, and that's your primary means of destroying the Void Slivers. That's why we have him in A. Zagara, where do we have him?
Zagara, man, I feel like Zagara is better than Raynor, but I don't know if it should be C or B because Zagara herself, she can teleport anywhere, and like wherever the reanimator is, you can show up and just take it out. However, well, if you're using P3, if you use P1 is a bad idea because you're gonna run out of money. Uh, if you have an ally, of course, P1 is fine. But if you're going to be carrying, then I don't think so. I used P3 and I took out the 11 o'clock one first. But that one's, even so, that one's hard to take out.
The furthest one,
Eventually,
right?
I got an expo and defended it, but like much later. Because she needs money. And then I tried to do, with P3, I tried to do the Scourge sniping, and it's actually not as good as just running in with Zerglings because she has so many minerals. Just
Okay.
so many minerals. Yeah.
Just running with Zerglings. How do you feel about second prestige Corruptors?
No, because you can't take out the top left.
Oh, they're strong enough to take out the top left. All right, that's fine. I had her
I mean, you
in.
want
Oh
to
wait,
take out the top left early,
yeah, you want to take it? Yeah, sure.
if possible.
You want to take out the top left early. So what letter do you have her in?
B, but probably lowest B or even C.
How do you defend against the? How do you defend your expansion against the Reanimators?
I have because I have lots of minerals. I just put spine crawlers and like 3 bio launchers so I can target.
Hey, there we go.
And
I really just
and
asked that question because I
yeah.
wanted you to mention bio launchers.
Well,
so,
whoever's playing bingo,
so, um,
fearless bingo.
I also had Zagara in B. Actually, I was thinking the P1 Scourge Snipe thing because like the way I play this is usually with an ally. I don't typically solo, so I was thinking I would help with the defense with Bailings, with spine crawlers, bio launchers, and then just use Scourge to right click into the slivers themselves. But if you say that the third prestige is better with Zagara right clicking the furthest shard first, then all right, uh, doesn't really differ to be still B. So there we go. Zeratul, Cadence good, Observer's good, Watcher good. You can even I guess spin to win if you want, but I like Cadence. They're good. S. How about you?
I I don't remember him being that strong. I mean, he's good. He's at least A. But what I remember doing was I had Dark Templar, like 2 Void Templar at each base, each side, and then to like right click the
Oh,
Reanimators,
cool.
and then the rest will be cannons. The rest are
Nice.
cannons. Uh,
Another.
I
Yeah,
you gotta have to like pay attention though, so
that's
you gotta
true.
look at the map and stuff. And you have to look for artifacts and stuff too.
That's true.
Which yeah, I put him in A, but I'm not strongly opposed to S. I just think he has to.
Work a little bit.
Well,
Rapid fire
it's
cannons.
kind of like if it's not that hard because his cannons are still gonna be so strong.
Another thing I
So
really like about Zeratul is that the artifact of essence demotes the big guys. So instead of a carrier getting revived, it's a scout. Instead of a battlecruiser getting revived, it's a wraith. So like even the Reanimators themselves will pose less of a threat because the units that come to your base aren't big guys because they get demoted, and then the cannons just eat
it's
them
true.
up. Yeah, does that push him over?
Yeah, I think I forgot to
The
think
demote
about
dude.
that, but yeah,
Yeah, all right. S. There we go. So, do we have any double S this time?
not
Yeah,
really.
no one's that far ahead of the others, I don't think. Who's top of S?
Karax,
Yeah, Karax too. Yeah, agree. Who's second in S?
Dehaka.
Hmm.
The reason why Dehaka's better than Zeratul is because you have one brother on each side. You just eat the Reanimator.
Yeah. The eating Reanimator thing is really good. Yeah, I agree. All right, then Zeratul and Tychus.
Yeah,
Who's top of A?
I was gonna put Kerrigan, but
Kerrigan? Hmm. Wait,
well,
Abathur's an A star, right? So does that put him at bottom of A?
I would put him at bottom of A
All right.
because if you mess up,
If you mess up, it's C. Uh, all right. I'm actually thinking either Arcturus because Arcturus just can just cheese this, but yeah, it can go wrong. So,
it can go wrong.
but it's still really
Uh,
good though. How about Vorazun? Vorazun just basically wait for the clock and just defend. I
it's
guess
like
Arcturus,
Artanis,
yeah,
except Vorazun's anti
air.
Reanimator and Trickle defense is much stronger than Artanis's.
So Vorazun over Artanis.
For sure, Vorazun over Artanis.
How about Arcturus? Is he over these two or under?
Over,
Over.
over.
Okay, so
I'm thinking it's like Swann.
Swann top.
Because Swann's defense is really sturdy. So like even if trickles come, you can last a long time. Even if you don't pay attention, you're not gonna lose many units because of trickles.
I'm a bit wary of the defenders in the shard area destroying your rates, though. Does that happen often? I haven't played Swann here, especially, especially soloing, so I don't really know
Um,
what the experience is flying rates into the shard areas.
let me see. So Oh, I remember now. For the so if it's anything that's not a death grip crystal, it's not a big problem. And I also drop warbots. So like
Ah,
warbots with P1, you get
distract
the
them.
other mastery. So yeah,
Yeah, you distract the enemies from
you
destroying the
distract
wraiths.
them with super strong. I only had like I had less than 100 supply going to the third one. And
Interesting.
then for the fourth one, I had like 120. And then for the last one, I had 160, 170 about.
I agree that Swann's defense is really good, but the offense feels kind of,
If you
huh,
mess up, you lose.
kind of, yeah. So I think Arcturus is still top.
Okay.
Yeah, Arcturus, Vorazun, Artanis, and Kerrigan, or Stetboy,
Yeah.
or Stetboy. I think Stetboy is pretty solid.
Stetmann has the same issue as Kerrigan, which is you can die in the early on.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, that's true. So these two are kind of in the same boat. Okay, so Kerrigan, then Stetboy. All right, that's fair. I think Stetboy's even weaker in the early game.
Stetmann is weaker because, well, no. Oh no, because he can't instantly get to an area, whereas Kerrigan
Ah,
can.
all right, all right. So Kerrigan over Stetboy. Where does Swann go? Between Artanis and Kerrigan, or after Stetboy?
He has no risk of dying early on. So I think
That's pretty
that
big.
deserves
All right,
higher.
we put Swann between Artanis and Kerrigan. So it's Arcturus, Vorazun, Artanis, then Swann, then Kerrigan, Stetboy, Stukov, Abathur for A.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, who's top of B?
Um, these everyone below, like B and below, have like a kind of a specific strategy you kind of have to use. And if
Oh
you don't
yeah.
use it, then it's like you're gonna have a harder time doing the objective.
Hmm. Which one of so
Especially Phoenix is the hardest one to do. Alarak is the easiest to do. Well, no. Nova's is the easiest because Nova
Novas?
you just nuke and then go with Liberators.
So Nova goes on top of B.
Yes.
All right.
Then Alarak, then Phoenix, then Zagara.
Zagara's bottom of B. All right.
Yes.
Is Zagara closer to Phoenix or Raynor?
That's why I was not sure. Because Zagara, man. Because when I attacked the top left, there were times where I tried and I died because I couldn't fight, so I had to try again.
Yeah.
So yeah. And you kind of have to take out top left first.
Okay. So you definitely need to just by hook or by crook get the 11th or the 11th to get the really far shard first. And your ally can even mess it up if he decides to go for the close shard first. So I think that solidifies
But if
Zagara
he
as
like kills it for you, then sure.
no. I mean, what your ally usually does is go to the closest shard. I
Ah,
play a lot of solo queues like Skytop Amon. Most of my allies really want to get the close shard because they want to go for the bonus. So I often have to race my allies and destroy the expansion shard so I can take my expansion. Whereas they're rushing the close shard because they want the bonus. But yeah, that's what I mean by your ally can ruin it for you. If they're, for example, someone like a Karax and they just cat and rush the first shard or the closest shard before Zagara spawns. Anyway, that's not relevant. I think Zagara is fine in B because it's bottom of B anyway. It's not a whole lot better than C. I guess it's fine. Besides, Raynor's just all on his own on C. Is Hot and Horner a whole tier worse than Raynor?
I put them a whole tier because I could not. I can't do it without a zoo, whereas Raynor I could.
By zoo, do you mean you actually have to build a structure and cage the Reanimators in, or can you just rush out a galleon and then kind of
Oh, no. I killed a Zergling and then trapped them in my base,
ah?
like
So
had them revive. Yeah.
you don't kind of bait out a Mutalisk, for example, a Mutalisk
No.
to
No.
the unpathable
Pathable
terrain.
terrain. No,
Isn't that
no.
simpler?
That's more. No, that's harder,
That's harder.
and that takes longer.
All
And
right.
there's no guarantee because you're gonna fight other stuff before then. So the reanimators might be attacking your main, whereas I trap all 4 reanimators before I even move out.
All right, we have to watch that run. Anyway, I think that's everything we want to put in here. Is there any synergies of B below that would be better than Tychus on his own?
Uh, Better than Tychus on his own.
Maybe Raynor on defense, and then Zagara just right-clicking the shards, or Nova defending on her own, and then Zagara right-clicking the shards.
The Gara attacking is pretty weak. Like if you
Pretty
had
weak.
Fenix attacking,
That'd be better.
Phoenix or Alarak attacking. Like if Phoenix Alarak attack at the same time, you could actually deal serious damage because they don't
Serious, serious
they can't
damage.
they can't
Is Tychus
they can't was it like the slivers take time to generate forces and you can attack so early that you might even like speed run the map.
interesting? I want to see that now. Anyway, I don't think that's stronger than Tychus on his own. Personally, is it?
Well, if you finish the map before Tychus, but
Yeah, I guess if you can speed run, you can use Alarak and Phoenix. But if you can speed run, you can probably do it. You can probably solo with any of these guys. So I guess it's not really
yeah.
relevant. Anyway, so no
Yes.
really strong prestiges of B or lower, but that's because the majority of commanders are A or higher. So you'll probably find a commander that's suited for you. Even even Artanis and Kerrigan, the free commanders, are an A tier. So you'll probably have an easy commander to pick from. Anyway, guys, watch Twotuu's channel. I will link it down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Oh, by the way, Twotuuu hit 1,000 subscribers, so he will be able to monetize that. Hooray! All right. Yeah, see you guys next time.
Thanks to everyone.
Thank you to everyone who subscribed to Twotuuu.